Wow.
It's time!
Is it?
Treasure hunting on the World Wide Web! Your crew is AK Captain of the Chat!
That's me.
And in the top left, right corner, Ola, wearing a bicorn befitting a dev pirate. Bicorn as bicorn. In the top right or left corner, the pirate Queen Raae. Yeah.
Where's the pirate princess?
Oh shit. Lilian, du må komme. I totally forgot her. That's
As long as you can locate her, I think it's all right.
pay for this later.
As long as you bring her in on the ending, she'll be fine. But she's been preparing.
Okay, vilken är
Been
du
piratey stuff happening this morning.
Okay, kom upp då.
She tried to make a pirate hat for her little stuffed animal, but that will be next episode.
Here she is.
Now that's a proper start. That's how we do it.
The pirate princess.
Okay. I guess we're ready then.
We're
This
ready.
is it. I mean, it's 11 o'clock, but this is a little early for me on a Saturday. I can feel I'm like, gotta hype up the energy. But Ulla has energy from all of us, so it's fine. I'm gonna drink some piratey coffee, and we'll be on our way.
Christina
Hello,
says,
Christina.
"Great anchor."
Yes. And look, there's the stuffed animal who's got its own sword. Sword? AK? Sword? Okay.
I think so, without the woo.
Without the woo. Without the woo. Okay. Let's head to the task at hand.
Yes.
Look at this. Correct, Lillian. It's this is the shit. So this is another treasure hunt from us where we're gonna be making mixed pod. It's like mixtapes, but for podcast episodes. If that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. And this is a drawing that Ulla's made of Little Miss Mixpod with the tagline, make a playlist of podcast episodes for your friend. And you might remember at this time last year, we were working on Prune Your Follows in collaboration with Zeta. And this time we are creating Mixpod in collaboration with Outzeta, which is a member or all-in-one member software provider that I work for part-time. And along the way, we're hoping to get some more sponsors to climb on board. You're muted, Ola.
I'm not muted. We're
Yes.
talking to multiple secret pirates
We're
of
going
the
to
World Wide
multiple-
Web.
Oh, the World Wide Web to see if we can get some more people on board.
And look, here is just Steve King.
Yes, hello,
Yes.
Steve. It's great to have you around. So he's also been sharing. Thank you so much, Steve, for sharing our live stream. So today's task at hand is to start mapping out what we need to figure out and what we need to do to create Mixpod. So we're going to test out just kind of writing this around on this infinite canvas where we can kind of put anything on. And
Mine
if you want
looks totally different from yours, though. Maybe I should go to another link.
Yes, the link is in the Slack channel on the canvas.
Slack.
Also, I can share it with you in the private chat.
Yeah, do that.
Yes. And for everyone watching, if you look in the comment, there is a read-only version of this that you can follow if you want to like walk around it and have a look at other locations. So, what do we need to do, folks?
I think we need RSS.
RSS. Why do you say RSS?
Because if it's a podcast, it's on RSS.
Yes.
Are they all though? They're not all on RSS, but the good ones are.
The good ones are. Yeah. So the good old podcasts are basically RSS feeds, which are the same that you can like subscribe to blog post. It's an RSS feed, which is an XML, which is a really hard format. I think there's a JSON version as well these days. But anyway, it's a RSS feed that just describes every episode and then the podcast. And then when you go to a podcast player, it kind of loads that RSS feed and then it can play off the podcast. So with Mixpod, we want to let people pick episodes from different podcasts and then create a new RSS feed with those picked podcast episodes.
So what's the end product going to be, like a web app or?
Yes, we only make web apps.
Yeah. Okay. What is it? How, like, is it? You will just be able to construct, like, have like a link with a playlist that's like a designated link that is to that specific playlist, and then anyone can listen to it. But you can like construct it.
That's the hope. That is the hope. So kind of like this canvas where you can like share a link, and you could share like a read-only version that you could share with people and they can listen to your Mixpod, or an editable link so you can collaborate with people. I'm thinking you might get away with not having authentication.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to try that out. So
I guess you can have like an MVP without auth, and then have like private authenticated feeds and playlists if you want to. I guess the design would be nice.
Designed. Yeah, I guess we need some design. Okay, design. So do we just want to tailwind this, or do we want to like be
Figma it and then I don't know. Because I think when you piqued my interest when you were talking about the stream, you were mentioning some technologies that I have no idea about that you were planning to use. Do you still plan to use those, and can you explain to me what they are?
Yes. So I think the plan is to use Astro. I just been playing around with it a little bit. So I don't know if this reminds you of a tagline from another framework that we used to be very intimately familiar with. I am pretty sure I'm pretty sure Gatsby's original tagline was like blazing fast or something like this. And this is the web framework that scales with you. So we just do not take note of these like taglines. But what I do like about Astro, which has piqued my interest, is that you can make a web app and ship no JavaScript to the front end if you want. And it will be fun to go that way again after being kind of more on the kind of like client side app, a JavaScript app situation. But you can then add these little islands, they call them, I think. So you could say, let's see.
That sounds very piratey. I like it.
I know. So you can make like interactive islands that can then be React, which we know well, but you could also use other, like you could use Vue, or you could use SvelteKit, or you could use other kind of JavaScript libraries on these islands. But everything around the island is just pure HTML. And for this app, that could make sense because we create a playlist. We'll let people create a playlist or Mixpod, and then we just kind of need that page. Doesn't have to be very interactive. Maybe we'll have a player and that will be interactive, but the page with the playlist on it could be just like like a regular HTML page. So yeah, so Astro, we'll put that on there. And we'll try. I mean, this is like, we are not married to Astro, so if like it feels like it's not a fit, well, we'll just try something else. So, but to your point, what are we doing? So I guess select podcast episodes and then save a playlist of those episodes. And then how could we select episodes?
Yeah.
And then we need to generate an RSS feed. Generate RSS feed. I like that. So let's put that on there. So like saving a playlist, I feel it's like that's pretty straightforward. Selecting a podcast episode, I'm not totally sure. Generate an RSS feed, I think, will be something we need to check out in Astro.
Steve King says, I love Astro.
Oh, well,
do
good
tell.
thing. Do tell. And I've been asking a little bit, like, what are some good Astro resources? And most people just say the docs are really good. So if you agree, then we'll just try with the docs. But if you have any other secret resources for us, some secret Astro. Oh, look at this next point from Steve. Can you put that up on the Astro exports RSS easily? Well, I'm going to make this smaller then, because I was thinking like the things we are unsure about are going to be big, and the things we are sure about we're going to be small. So I'm going to make that small then, because then we need to generate RSS feeds from the episodes. So, but what I think like both design-wise and like UI-wise will be the hard part is like how to let people select podcast episodes. And I would love for it to be a way that they could search through.
Would you have like, I don't know, pick like 10 different shows to start with that you know you can get, and you can legally obtain RSS feeds for, and because they're like open podcasts or shows.
Yeah, so this will probably only work for the open podcast. Like everyone who has put their stuff behind paywall, like, you know, the ones that are only on Spotify or some news corporations, they will not be available. So this is for like the old school podcasts that are still just like an open RSS. Sorry, AK.
Yeah, no, so I suppose you could like have like a list of ones that you support to start with, right? And then a search would be nice. But
so
searches are always difficult unless you index your data really nicely. So
yes. So I've done a tiny bit of research, and I think Transistor had a Transistor podcast search API. I'm pretty sure they mentioned that somebody has an API that you could use, but now I can't find the Transistor how to search podcast search.
But we talked to one of our secret pirates who might be a sponsor yesterday, and he said that we should do something so that we can make the search. Something vector or something.
Well, that is in case we wanted like semantic AI search, but Transistor here goes through all of the available that are already available. So Google Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast, search engines. I think this like listen notes is the ones that they said were best. And if I remember, they had an API, podcast API. So the best podcast API for search, directory, and insight. So I think we could start with that. They have metadata on 3, is that correct? 3 million podcasts?
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
So I think we'll start with that, but I don't think they have any like semantic search, like, you know, where you search for, I don't know, Astro and you also, or Astro J or JavaScript, and you also get results for JS or React or other things that are related, you know, those things that AI can give us. So it could be interesting after we make Mixpod, it could be interesting to kind of create this search API that they have just with added like AI on top. That could be a fun new treasure hunt. But I think for this treasure hunt to make it, you know, to be like, let's use this API. If it works, let's try it out at least. So I'm gonna put in
how many sprints are you gonna spend building this thing?
we are gonna spend 6 sprints on the first version, and that would be 3 months.
Yeah,
I think, because we're gonna do this every other week.
cool.
So this is way out of scope. I'm gonna put those in there. And another thing that I thought is that if you can't find it in the API, I guess there should be a way to. Oh wow! Wow, that was pretty cool. Look at that! It just made a little
thing.
Made a little thing.
Have you?
Wow.
Have you used Arc browser? Yeah.
It can do that.
It can do a lot.
Oh, okay. I'm still on Chrome. I'm resistant to change. No, just kidding.
We have the same Chrome skin though, so BFFs.
Yeah. So I think if we can't find it with the API, then maybe you should be able to like paste in a link. Because if we look at just one of Transistor's, let's do one of my podcasts, Slow and Steady pod. I think there usually when you have the subscribe, you can like subscribe on everything, but you can also subscribe with an RSS feed. So we could have a feature where you could paste in this feed URL in case we can't find it in the API. You could go and like get that RSS feed from the podcast you're trying to pick from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you think people know about? Do people just like listen on Apple, or do they kind of? Do anyone use those RSS links?
I listen on. So a lot of people still use RSS feeds players, and I think there's like pods. Oh gosh, what are they called? I should know this because we've recently been working on podcasts, and I see what. So there's loads of podcasting apps, and for a lot of them you can just copy and paste an RSS feed. So when we were paywalling podcasts at The Economist, we had to make sure that we support the main ones. I think it's like Pocket Cast, for example, and stuff like that. So there are some. I usually listen on Spotify, but you have to have a subscription to be able to do that. Google Podcasts are going to be decommissioned in a true Google style. Yeah, I think 2014 or 2015. So they used to they'll just move everything to YouTube Music, which again you have a subscription for. So
and then I think YouTube has started.
YouTube and XML is a popular format still. So I know there's like somebody said like JSON would be easier to parse, but I think XML is going to have to be the aimed for format for now.
Yeah, because we need to generate an RSS feed, and then kind of here we'd need to consume an RSS feed.
Yeah, because like generate RSS feed from like stitching together the other RSS feeds, right? Yeah. Yeah, because I think normally, so you would parse the one that it's like from the source, right? Because someone already has like all the episode data, but the episode data has a lot. So I don't know if you want to like also strip any information, anything like that. You can probably like not play with it because it's horrible and just like parse it as is.
I am hoping we'll find a JavaScript RSS parser because
there's things to like that allow you to stitch things together and put things in between, and there's definitely XML parsers because otherwise it would be a forgotten technology by now. So that's not a problem. But what are you going to use to like remember the things? Because you need to like be able to like pick a podcast, right? But then save it.
Yeah, then we need a database, and we won't use the database until we potentially have one of our sponsors on board. We are talking to database providers.
Yes.
So we'll see if none of them come on board. I'll pick something. But
yeah, it's still worth putting on a list that we want to like remember the the playlist.
Well, I feel like now I can't say any of the data because the ones that come to mind are the ones we are talking to.
Don't say the name. No. You have to pay the
okay.
What we need, this is a good one. What we need a database of some sort. Some sort. And then we'll need an RSS or like a podcast, because the podcast RSS are a little different than regular RSS, because don't they have like a lot of extra, like you said, the episodes have a lot of extra information. So we need a podcast RSS parser, or at least a RSS parser that supports
Something that picks up the actual data, like not music file, the audio file from there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to do it. But so is because also like, is the final result going to be like, if someone sent me their Mixpod, do I get a link and I parse it in my own player, or do I listen on the web and I have like the native audio player?
I thought both. So kind of like what if I went to Slow and Steady, and then I clicked subscribe, it kind of also gives me a nice UI where I can listen to them in here, but I can also take this URL and then put it into Pocket Cast. So we'll generate something similar so that you could put it into Pocket Cast or all of those other ones and kind of just. So so both. I think that because I think a lot of, at least I still have friends, and this is weird to me, but I still have friends who are not listening to podcasts. So if I'm going to make a Mixpod for them of episodes that I feel like they should listen to, then I feel like they should be able to just listen in their browser and not have to start like, downloading the thing or like download it.
Picking individual episodes is going to be interesting because usually the feed has like all of the episodes in them.
Yeah, and then we need to then pick search for podcast episodes, and we need to then let them pick some episodes and put into this new Mixpod. Yeah. So we need a database of some sort, JSS parser, at least. So those are the two things we really need. And then maybe we should make a little bit of a flow diagram.
Ooh.
Or something.
So the journeys, the copy and paste journey and the listening.
Yeah. So I guess like make a new Mixpod. Like start. So start and then make. So you kind of make a playlist. So make a new Mixpod, and then you need to select episode. So not a flow chart because I'm better with list episodes. So what we call this user flow. User flow. Well, I like this like infinite canvas. We can just like, okay, so so like make a new or create a new podcast, select episodes, and there's different ways to select episodes. So you can search for them, pick them from an RSS feed,
And would it be an RSS feed somewhere else, or like pick them from an RSS feed that you're going to load into the browser first?
Yeah, I think like I thinking you paste this, and then you pick the episodes from that list that you want. Okay. So you are right. We need to let them load in an RSS feed if they can't find it in search, if not in search, and then pick. So this is select episodes, kind of have two different search for the podcast. So I guess, and then pick. Oh, so that's more clear. So you either search for the podcast or you load in the RSS feed, and then you select the episodes. So this is either or.
Very good.
And then you select episodes, and then you save, and then you share. Kind of simplified version, right? And then you share. Oh, so this was with the creator flow. Flow, and then we have the like what we should be called the person getting the thing.
Consumer, listener,
consumer. It sounds so business-like. The consumer.
Okay, listener.
No, I love it.
But should the consumer be able to edit also?
I'm sorry, I'm diagramming like all day long at work. So.
Should the consumer also be able to edit the thing?
I feel like that should be up to the sharer. Like,
yeah.
Ooh. Okay, well
So
that's going to split our journeys a little bit.
yeah, so let's like shelf that for a minute, but I'll put it. Should consumers be able to edit? But the consumer flow would then be kind of receive link to Mixpod. And then they could either, so they could subscribe in their podcast player.
Yeah.
Or they could, I'll clean this treasure hunt at some point. Okay, subscribe in their podcast player, or listen from the webpage.
Yep.
And then we can
so
say
the full feed in there, I see.
Yeah. And then should they be able to edit? I kind of like, so if we go here to
like a collaborative thing.
Yeah, so I guess this is a little small, but I'll try and zoom in on it. Yeah. So if you look at this, so if you take this, if somebody brings up their phone now, they can go in and edit our spreadsheet. So you can do, well, I'm going to make it read only. So this is what I'm thinking, where you can have a read only link, but you can also have, so if you see this, like this little, what's it called again? QR code changes and the URL change, shareable URL changes. So read only, and this is editable. So I was thinking we could have something similar where you could kind of say if you wanted that person to be able to edit or not.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining this just puts, like when it's not read only, I imagine it puts some kind of secret in the URL and then lets you. So I'm going to copy a snapshot link now in case somebody starts messing with our board.
So yeah, good.
Oh, I have to zoom out again. Oh. How do I do that? Actual size. Oh. And then I think, so maybe it should be two different links, but can you then listen if you're in edit mode?
Well, yeah, it would feel weird if you weren't.
Yeah, because then I think
I feel like that's like you know how you have like an MVP and then you have like MVP version 2 and then version 3. I feel like that should be version 2 when you can do collaborative lists, and the first one could be read only.
That is so smart.
I am sorry.
Version 2. Version 2. Look at that. And I've learned in corporate speak, if you say like, oh, that's Q4, it just means it's never going to happen.
We're just running Q4 now, so don't tell me.
But the thing is, like, we're building the whole thing in Q4, so we're going to make it happen. Okay. So should we can write some more notes on that. So it could be interesting then if edit, like maybe edit and listen looks similar, and you can play episodes from both. Ola, you're making sounds.
No, it's not me. Absolutely not. It's the pirate princess.
Okay. I see.
Multi-talented.
Okay. So let's try Astro the sign. Select. So these are the features. Is there anything we're missing that we should think about at this stage?
Is there anything else? Sorry.
Is there anything else we think we'll need?
Okay.
So this is, I guess this is more research. We need to research. Research. And then I think I saw Steve said something about databases of his liking.
Yeah, am I allowed to say? I suppose it's in the chat anyway. So the suggestion was Superbase. I haven't actually personally used it. I heard about it, but I don't really know.
Ula's in here.
I think it's easy to implement off with it, but we could like have like no off first or. Unless it's super easy to do, because sometimes it's literally just like a function, you know.
Yeah, so Altera that I work for actually has auth. So
Oh,
if we
right.
wanna,
Well, that's
so
its
we
own
could use,
problem then.
yeah, so we can do any kind of any of the databases because we don't need the auth embedded in the database solution.
How does the app work on that?
So we have these embeds. I think there's pictures
Yeah.
of them here. So we have these kind of embeds that can either be pop up or they can be embedded on the page and you log in. And then you can also do like what we call protected content where we kick you off with JavaScript if you're not supposed to be on that page.
Yeah.
So it's not protected on the server, but it's protected kind of in JavaScript in the browser, which is what a lot of people need. But
you can
so
have
but
like
we can then
open Mixpod that anyone can search, and like as long as they have a link, it's open, and you can have one where someone needs to log in to view it.
Or to edit it or whatever, because another, like for version, let's say version 3 or something, I've been thinking that, and that's when we might need auth, because I've been thinking that you should be able to add your own notes.
Yes, notes.
Your notes, or maybe that could be part of version 1, but then people have to be, they need to realize that these are open URLs, and also your own graphics. So podcast feeds have a art. They have like art for the whole podcast, and then I think you optionally can have art per episode. Do you know this, AK?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you can have for each episode, but then we could let people
think, you like, if you can read the XML and parse it into something that's actually parsable, then within there you have every single episode that's like a chunk of data. So we should be able to do that.
Yeah, because then I was thinking, when we create, if we let people, Ulla is putting in images. I love these little mix pods. Look at that consumer flow. Yeah, because then when we generate the RSS feed, we could add the person's notes to the RSS feed that we generate on top of the data that we have about the episode. Because then you could write, like, I really enjoyed this episode, and I think this section is interesting for you, because sometimes an episode can be like an hour, and if it's about something that could be. I send you an episode on anxiety, like, and you're like, what? But then I can be like, oh, it's this little section here that I thought would be beneficial based on our last conversation. And I think we could add that already, but then if we make it kind of gated, then you can add more private notes, right? Because then you're And then to the why I was talking about graphics or images is that at least it would be fun if you could then upload your own kind of podcast art, not maybe per episode, but you could like upload your own like art for that Mixpod.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Do you use Spotify?
A little bit.
Yeah, because
it's not for podcast, but for music.
If you have a playlist, you can like give it your own image kind of thing. So I think that would be maybe like a background image like you have in Notion.
Yeah.
But how do you do it? How do you do it on Spotify? Because I see a lot of people, they use like album art and mix.
Oh yeah, I think you just press on the image that's there. But I would need to confirm, and I don't want to play with it now.
I can.
But yeah.
Okay, so if we
press on the image, if it's your playlist.
Oh yeah, you just choose a photo.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we'll do then.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find no, that's download.
So, but that's another feature, right?
Yeah.
Which also means like uploading and saving the artwork somewhere, which also means some sort of like a database or like a bucket for files.
I just had to use this image that I found I was searching Canva for piratey queens, and I found this like skull that has a little. I'll drag it onto the canvas here because I just really, really loved it.
I love the like near total chaos of this board.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did my image go?
You can free flow.
It's slow. It's constant there.
Look at that. I mean, look at this. Like I feel.
Is that AI?
I don't know. It was Canva. It was just like I was asking for images that were piratey, queen and piratey, or something like that, and it gave me. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, so I think we should be able to have your own cover art and your own notes, and we should probably add that here. But then, if we wanted to auth them in the later version, so they could be more personal, auth, they can be more personal. So this should be black. So we'll need to add that select episodes and then select add notes. Add notes.
Can I read this comment here?
Are you going to read it as John? Poor John is sleeping. Our most faithful watcher is in America, so he's not going to be able to see these.
He's a pirate, you know. He works all day and he sleeps all night. Yes. Okay, so but I will read in John's voice now, in memory of John, who is now sleeping, not in like any sinister sense. It's just normal sleep. Okay, so here it goes. Could you add time gates to episodes so this episode is between this time and that time?
Ooh, I like it. So you're saying like instead of, well, I don't know if we could do that in the feed, but we could probably do it on, like if we create this kind of a page, we could probably add timestamps, and then you could add a note with your own personal timestamp, and we could start playing from that position. But in the RSS feed, we would need to start messing with people's audio files,
which are going to be hosted somewhere, right? Unless you want to rehost them, and like that's just like the 10.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
say it again, AK.
Yeah, no, because like unless you're gonna host, because normally you would have like you have an RSS feed and then you have like some episode information, like the description and like this, that, and like some native links as well to like Apple Podcasts and whatever, like iTunes and that. But then you would also have that like the MP3 file or whatever format, but that's hosted somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you want to rehost these, which would be like, I feel like that's a lot, and like it's a very serious project.
But
we
could have a chat with our friends at Cloudinary. I think they have these features. The only issue I'm seeing is like copyright.
Yeah, that's one thing, because I feel like you would need to really research that. That's one thing, but also you are then essentially creating a platform, and platform maintenance is a lot. So
but isn't the whole point?
It's no longer a simple web app.
But isn't the whole point of podcasting that people should just be, you know, using it however they want?
Yeah, but I think we should. But I'm gonna write this down and just let's Google, because I am pretty sure Cloudinary lets you make slips from audio. But I think we need to go to the video API. I think their video API is basically their audio API as well. So this is just showing like different sections. But I think you can make clips from audio. Like let's say make clips from audio with Cloudinary. Yes, audio transformations.
Oh yeah. Make it a bit bigger.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you can even mix audio tracks.
Oh yeah.
We could make all of these episodes into one big episode.
Yeah.
Auto-generate waveform images. That is also cool. We could need that, but audio.
How do you remember the names of all of the tools, which is there's like 10 million of?
That is, I think that is my superpower.
Okay, because I couldn't remember Pocket Casts, which I see every day.
And it's weird because I cannot remember abbreviations because I have and I think that's connected to being dyslexic, but somehow I remember all of these like I love just being we call it the high seas of the World Wide Web, and just like take in information and then like Google it when I need it.
That's a fantastic superpower. I wish I could have some of it. Can you do like a blood transfer or something?
Yeah. So mixing audio, but I think trimming and concatenating. Yes. So I think this is also available for audio. So you can do start offset and end offset.
Amazing.
Or duration. And then
okay, maybe that's not V7 then, but it's definitely no V0.
No. But let's put that on there. So I'm thinking like these are just our kind of like future
Dreams.
ideas.
Yeah.
Future ideas.
Okay, I'll make it a drawing for that then.
Yeah, do that. Future ideas. And let's reorder, bring to front. Okay. And then we are saying maybe we could do, well, my queen skull will just have to like go over here. So did we call it, select clips from the episode to add instead of the full episode. And then on the web, that could be easy, but maybe we could even transform on the web. Very possible, but also possible to not augment. No, what do they call it? Transform dynamically. Yeah,
I think transform is generic enough to safely use it.
Transform the audio file and create a new file.
Would that then work for the copy and paste journey? I guess that's a future question.
Yeah, I would say that you could then, when you select an episode, then you could, in addition, you could say from where to where.
Mm.
And then if you wanted to add more clips, you just like take the same episode and select it again and take another part of the clip or something like that.
I think one thing that could be an easy to implement thing is to make a copy of a playlist so that you can, like then hide episodes and stuff like that. So if someone shares one with you, you should be able to like
remix it,
make your own from that. Yeah.
Remix. Okay, so remix flow. Then we need a remix flow. This is getting out of hand.
Yep. It is.
Well, I'm gonna put that on future ideas. But it's very remix a mix pod. Ola's drawing and whistling and enjoying.
No, it's not me. I ain't
you saying
whistling.
Something else cool. I can't really follow the chat, so you gotta like read it for me. If so, remix a mix pod.
You can read it, AK, if you wanna. Do you get it up in your thing?
Read out which one. Sorry.
You click whatever you want. If you click the comments, can you see the comments?
I can only put a heart reaction to it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten AK into the as an admin.
I'm not a real pirate. I'm just a parrot.
We ran out of spaces. We ran out of spaces in our StreamYard memberships. So, but I can put that. Let me have a look then, since I can. So yeah. So this was the comment that sparked all of that. So that Ola read, which I love. And then he's also saying on the web it would be easier. Yes. And then could you chop it? You were saying, can you chop it if you don't host it? Yes, maybe we could with Cloudinary. Okay, so I think we got through them all.
Oh, future ideas. That's beautiful. I love it.
And then I added the audio transformation from Cloudinary there. So we have I like that you can like drop in the things you're thinking about, because that is kind of cool. So where did I find the trimming? This is where. And now when we were talking about this, I am also pretty sure that Cloudinary has some cool AI features on this. I think you can even get Cloudinary to listen through an audio file and then give you clips of what is most interesting.
Whoa. This AI business is getting out of hand.
I know.
Don't tell me what to do.
AI video playback features.
Oh,
Do you think
wow.
that's it?
That is cool.
AI-based highlights.
Mm.
And hopefully they have that for audio too. I'm going to put that in there too. Okay. But I'm going to let Cloudinary know they need to up their like open graph images. This is looking kind of boring.
They're supposed to be good at that stuff, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
I was very.
I don't know if Ola's showing his age, but he started saying "lol." Like he says "lol." I was very. He was saying it in the region "lol," which is "lol."
I was very appropriately mute. Sorry.
Like, you know, when you have like XD emoji, as in like, you know, kind of like a laugh with like a squished face.
Yeah.
It became a part of the language so much so people say XD, so that people actually like I think it went into the dictionary or something.
Yeah.
And my little brother would sometimes say XD or like lol.
Yeah. He says lol. He says it like lol.
Lol.
Okay, I need to adjust my
you need to adjust your language, because in the region
I can just
lol.
I can come in my skateboard and say lol, fellow kids. Yeah. Yes.
Now I need this GIF on our board. Just
there he is. Oh yeah.
Oh, is that? Do you think I can drop an iframe on here? No.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't look that good.
Well, maybe if I just do the whole page.
Oh yeah, maybe.
We've got
there he is
in the chat as well.
What's that guy's name again?
Oh, don't ask me. Like, I can't remember Pocket Cast, so don't ask me.
I don't remember.
Use AI to get the sentiment of all the episodes, or just create a mixed poster image. Oof. You can always do it for the transcription as well.
Yeah, we could use the transcription, because I think AI, so they have transcription services.
Yeah.
So we can then transcribe, and then we could create an image with some other AI. I don't know if Cloudinary has AI image generation yet. They probably should. Image generation. Because what is cool, like if we offload this to Cloudinary, then we kind of wouldn't, be legally responsible.
Yes, we would. Don't you think their lawyers have thought about that? They got great lawyers.
Well, then they we could ask them, and if they say it's within like whatever, like then it's going to be hosted with them. So whoever will go to take their legal actions towards Cloudinary and not.
Will they
us.
really though? I don't think so.
I know.
I think we could put that as an idea for sure, like AI sentiment analysis and like captions. In the future ideas. We've got 10 minutes according to the original start and finish time.
Yes.
So do you want to walk me through the front end and the back end so I understand again what's happening?
Yes.
Okay. So create a cover image. Okay. So where do we want to do that? Do we need a? So you want to now you like a proper what's it called, like a flow the other kind of flow diagram?
Consumer journey diagram. Well, there is a. Do you mean like UML or like no? Because
I don't remember.
But just okay. So on the front end, as a this is use a story mapping session here.
So as a creator,
look at this.
Or
we got
editor,
a new
maybe.
guy. It's Kim.
Hello, Kim. Kim is from my day job.
Nice.
What is he holding in his little hand there?
I'm not sure.
You know what, the emoji reaction, I have to run a little bit, but the emoji reaction thing on YouTube is just so annoying. The way it slides out and it covers like the three dots that you should have. It's just
Do you know what I think? I think that before next episode, I'm gonna try and just draw out some skeleton pages.
Yeah.
Would that be helpful?
I think so. Either like in Figma or whatever you use to like draw. I suppose
I'll probably draw it in here.
That's probably going to do.
I'm not gonna learn. But basically, I mean, the big use cases we want to do is that as an editor,
I want to be able to select or search for a podcast or start a playlist, right?
Yeah, I want to select podcast episode and share as one with a friend.
I'm sorry, I'm making you need to write easy stories at 12 o'clock your time on a Saturday.
No, but I feel like
I really like I was just like listen.
No, I love this because this is exactly why, like, because I have an idea in my head and we need to kind of like get it out there. But I think this is the overarching user stories. Like, as you know, as an editor, as a mixed pod editor, I want to select podcast episodes and share them as one podcast with a friend so maybe not a user story, but like the main goal, and share them as one podcast with a friend who can listen from the shared web page or their podcast player of choice.
Yes. So what do you call this thing you're writing now? What is the...
Well, now I just feel like if we want to go like in more enterprise speak, I would say this is a whole product description. This is like a one-liner for the whole product. But it could maybe be, considered an epic or a user story. I don't know. It's a very large user story. It needs to be broken down into user story, and it needs to be broken down.
It would be a big one.
Yeah. And then we need to break it down into smaller stories.
I have a very important message from Kim here. In my hand, it's just my phone. Sweaty emoji. It looked kind of those little scissors you use in the garden, to cut off little flowers and stuff.
So I'm going to put a green here that says need to break into smaller stories. Okay. Well, look at this. Look at our map. I feel like we started really good here with like only no feature creep, and then suddenly we had a little future
ideas. I mean, it's a Saturday. Let's party. I can help you break things down into like deliverable chunks if you want.
Yeah, that would be great because you can edit in this document as well. Yeah. And what's great also is that if you want, you can just grab that and like go over here and like make a more organized one, and then this can be our kind of our ID part where we're not as organized.
The design would need to. Well, it's kind of like you need to have like stories for the design, but the design also needs to come like to be able to like break it down into like dev tasks. But I'm sure we can figure it out.
But we forgot marketing.
Oh no. Didn't I have it on my notes? I thought I wrote it down somewhere.
Marketing.
We need a forms where people can sign up for this before it's done.
So next, I think that's going to be next episode. We're going to make, because I know we should like make things first, but we make a landing page where people can sign up for updates. Where people can sign up for email updates.
Yarg.
And as every indie hacker, I have already bought the domain, even though you should validate your IDs first and then buy the domain. Someone, owns
at least no one else is going to get it.
Yeah. And someone who's sitting right here owns about 60 domains. So what's another one? But anyway, I think that's what we're going to do next week. We're going to get the landing page up in Astro and add people's emails to Outsera so we can email them. Yes. And then I feel, so what I often like to do is start with what I'm most unsure about. So I think the episode after getting the marketing going is that we'll try to search through podcast episodes and like see how good it actually is. And then maybe the week after that we'll generate an RSS feed or consume an RSS feed, or maybe both, to see, can we like, because I feel like the design and like the smaller user stories, we can work on those in parallel. But if we can't generate an RSS feed, consume an RSS feed, and search for podcast episodes, we don't have a product and that we don't need any of it. So I think I'm gonna just copy these if I can. Can I do more? So our next episodes will then be these things. Our next voyages, I should say. Voyage plan. So landing page, search, generate RSS feed, consume RSS feed. So, because this was voyage 0, and then this will be voyage 1. And
there's a suggestion in the chat. I know. Sorry to like take you.
Great.
Yes, I love suggestions in the chat.
Maybe even create Mixpod just by search.
Yeah, and then skip the consume. I like that. And then skip the consume RSS feed. We'll put that, boom, we'll put that back. I like that. Way to go, helping us, you know.
I love how you're just hijacking like the middle of the screen every time.
It's not my fault that they're so big.
Yeah, but if you go over here and then you load in the image, it will show up here and not on top of what we're doing.
It's fine. I like the distraction. Right, what we're doing. Okay.
Look at this. Did you read this out?
Yeah, that's what AK just said. And as Stephen S, I think that is a great idea, because then I think if we manage, at least in this episode, if the search is really easy, maybe we can save selected episodes right off the bat. But if not, at least we can search, and then in the next episode we'll try to generate an RSS feed from either just some dummy data we have or with like something that's saved to database. And in that case, we kind of have a product. We don't have to do the consume an RSS feed, because you can still choose between the 3 million episodes that 180 million episodes that you can search through. So
I hope the API is as friendly as it says it is.
I mean,
we'll find out.
We'll find out. And one of my other, I don't know if it's a superpower, but I do really enjoy figuring out how third-party APIs work. It's like a little treasure hunt in itself, trying to figure out what the makers have thought when they made it and how it should be made. That's it. So we'll see you here in 2 weeks for the landing page job. Or should we just make the landing page in those 2 weeks and go straight to search through podcast episodes next week, in 2 weeks?
Can't we make it and then we can add the form while we're on?
And then go straight to search?
What form would you be adding? Sorry.
The form to capture people's emails, that if they want to, try it when it's tryable. Sign up form.
Newsletter form, I would call it.
Yeah.
Newsletter, yes.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe we'll cheat you a little bit and do this one while nobody's watching, and then we'll go straight to the search one, or we'll do voyage 1 and then we'll do voyage 2, because we have 6 voyages. So we'll see how much time we have. Okay. I guess that's it.
Yes, that was fun.
We're just 2 minutes past the hour.
Då är vi färdiga. Just wait a minute, the princess will not be rushed.
Steve hopes that the landing page is pirate themed.
Of course.
And Web Boss is here. Hi. Long time no see. Yeah, I think that is a good idea. That we add the form as a stream, and then we'll do the API either on the same one or the next one. I might also just do like an unscheduled stream sometime in between.
But tell nobody about it.
Well, it will just like if I feel inspired, or Ola feels inspired, we'll just do it because it's a very. I feel like it's a very like tidy task. Yeah. Exploring the API is like. Then I need to like chat with everyone.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's not that interesting for who's. But yeah, hopefully, I think someone said that.
Kim, this reminds me of like how to draw an owl.
Yeah,
I just have to put that on there. So how to draw an owl step by step. So yes, kind of like this, where it's like we're gonna do 5 streams over here, and then on the 6th stream, we suddenly have an app. No, we're gonna take you along the journey. I promise, because we're gonna need help. There's a lot of unknowns in this project, so we're gonna need help.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. We did a mixed-pod treasure hunt with pirate Queen Raae and the pirate princess AK.
Wow, I'm going back to bed. Thank you.